In many Asian nations, the concept of domestic help is considered part and parcel of family life. And where both parents work, a maid is an essential member of the household. But in some wealthier countries, an alarming trend has begun to emerge. A generation of children so spoiled and dependent on their maids, they're unable to even tie their shoelaces. Susan Yu reports.
As we become more prosperous, and especially when both the parents are working, the problem starts there.
Parents must consciously decide what are the things that the children should do for themselves, take personal responsibility.
There was one boy, he was struggling to tie his shoelaces.
It's a phenomenon that is sweeping healthy Asian economies. The so-called made-to-order generation is changing Asia's social landscape.
My observation is that the children are very comfortable. They are being provided for almost everything. And to the extent that, that they don't really have to work very hard for what they have.
Professor Tan Teng Kee heads the Lion City's first ever innovation center at the Nanyang University. He believes Singaporeans are too dependent on helpers, and that fosters less creativity and independence in children.
In Hong Kong, in Singapore, and a lot of Asian countries, we have maids at home. I don't think that there's something wrong with having maids at home to help, because we have both husband and wife working these days, and they do need some help. But it's how we utilize the help of a maid to help us out in the household chore, and how we bring about our children within this kind of environment.
That environment is apparently breeding spoiled children, known in Singapore as the instant noodle generation. Everything is expected to be done easily, quickly, and preferably by maids. In one of Singapore's middle-class neighborhoods, a mother helps her son with his homework.
You see this paper? There are so many mistakes here. What happened?
I have no time to do it.
Susan Wong admits her son Kenneth was guilty of rude and over-reliant behavior with her and their maid.
Was there any particular example or time where it just stood out so badly?
Oh yes, there was once when I was teaching him some work, and then suddenly I heard, I said, "What happened?" He said, "Oh, this is between myself and the maid. I trained her to listen to my hand signal that I'm thirsty, I needed a drink." And suddenly I saw the maid walking to the kitchen and bring a cup of water and put it in front of him.
Were you embarrassed? Were you horrified?
I was saying, "Hey, this is not the way to trick your maid by listening your signal." I say, "If you want, you can call. Otherwise, go and get your drink yourself."
ISTANTE, the Wong's helper, gives us more examples of Kenneth's undesirable expectations and demands.
Before Kyme, dulu Kyme.
When I first came here, Kenny didn't know how to do anything. I had to bathe him, put his socks on, tie his shoes. I had to do everything. Kenny just kept calling for me all the time.
Do you think in general that children have become too reliant on their helpers in Singapore?
Yes. Children in Singapore, especially those who have their helpers at home, usually they do not know how to do their personal chores. They rely on the maid very much. So I think it's not too good, because in Singapore we hope that everybody, especially children, they can be more independent.
The problem has caught the attention of veteran educators like SENG-KOK. He teaches civic and moral education at the Tech G Primary School.
Our pupils, they cannot even sweep the floor. simple household tasks, and yet they find it very difficult to do. When they come to school, they are accompanied by the parents and by the maids. And in school, the maids even carry the bags, the mothers carry the bags. They are like kings, little emperors.
Appalled by the lack of basic life skills his students possessed, SENG-KOK decided to start the Little Housekeeper program at the Tech G Primary School. The goal? To teach youngsters how to look after themselves. These are basic but valuable lessons for this breed of children.
Okay, can you rinse the cloth first? Till it's dry. Okay? Then you open up the cloth and you wipe the shell. And show your friends how you can do it. They also can do it at home. I think we have succeeded in creating an awareness that children can do such chores. And what we hear from the teachers is during the physical education period, normally they would dump their uniform into the bags. But after the program, they neatly folded the clothes and put inside the bags. And parents saying that the children have become more responsible, taking care of themselves. They bathe themselves and make a cup of drink or wash their own cups. So these are all the favorable feedback that we get from the parents. Out of Singapore's 20 or so primary schools, only a handful provide home economic courses. But the Little Housekeeper program is the only program that provides courses in practical skills. But instructors admit the education process must go well beyond the classrooms. We have such task booklets for each level, primary 1, 2 and 3, and we assign them some tasks to be done at home. Like for example, we taught them how to tidy the room, and they bring this task home and they clean up their own room, and the parents witness this and then they sign to verify that the child has done the task.
So far, it seems the lessons are sinking in.
Can all of you tell me what you like the most about the Little Housekeeper program?
I like mopping most because it is very fun. I like cooking most. I like washing the shoe because I can play with the water. I like to iron the clothes because I can help my mother to iron the clothes.
We have to actually equip our children with this thinking and with the skills they have to assess on their own, okay? Am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? So to me, that's also a value inculcation.
Kenneth Wong is now learning the values of cooking himself a meal. Instant noodles may not be the most difficult dish to make, but he and others are beginning to realize that not everything comes quickly and easily in life. And they're also learning that people like Yuji won't be there forever to help them along the way. So even the simple task of getting a cup of water on their own has become an achievement parents of the instant noodle generation are proud of.